a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. These worshiping pedophiles wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Yeah, you don't just lay there, man, on your back. Yeah, well, you gonna do that?
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive.
I know you so scared.
What's up?
I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide out. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet. So my aircraft stealth spit. Can't be tied down or even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked, the cards, my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off of spices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, is a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly, though haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the still in hand, but we're healer man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow, I set standards. To catch me, you gon' have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper opera. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm data space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the case, face off. After it shaped the state, use a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, spray the adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas carol lies what your fans get. Your world's in perils what I transmit. As a transcript, or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. And don't want to go for the cracker. And go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah, I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the side spot. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying die ops. From the skybox, I got a scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some rules. Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real song. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, play king or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID no issue. Could've blown it in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or wet. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, one turn the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance. Silence by clients, from conspiring to novice. Other aspirants of violence, tyrants of fire. Trying and trying to hide it, I'm trying to find. In environs of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hype men. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-pliant. My refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push off the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big monsters come full circle, so vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bound or whack. It's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau or Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bound or whack. It's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa. Signs and symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, Draw. I had a vision the past night, yeah, a circulus round. Created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you. They smile all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras but dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw badges circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fact checks purposely but peep me, I'm calm. Water, fire, air, earth, turn me from that peace to a bomb. Blow the joint, just but the range, the point, the sentiments. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles guarded by angel of shiny elite angels. Thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'll fly in plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. I recall when bro and I spit flows, dope man fly in the shell at Southampton, kept smoke, stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gain density. Gave my synopsis, he's toxic. I prayed I could say I behave by locals. I've raised my moral ground. Way how my character stay fly, the conduct squared up. Self-esteem, the day sky, new God on what the world's been waiting for. The days now, way out there and I don't abide by the same ethics. They fan respect, you obtain the credit for keeping the obelisk erect, but with strange methods. But the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribed by passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare I spit, but the beats churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kitten that it tried to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it. Announce it, I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. The jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you, false lights. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors with the poppers just for show. Go figure, you dig, pounding you baboon or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hella track, no illa max than me. Master built her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See the circle, if not your mask off. You promise, dash or soft. The dialogue's trash talk, your past loss. Leave a footprints in the asphalt. You've an outline correction, last fall. I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living. Sexually sex some whose ass off. When she walked the ass off, I told back to it like who makes sure Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on my circle is me. I absorb your hate to make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advance is abnormal, dormant, form and leave y'all. Right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square. Yeah. Now watch time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass rock. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown chakra, core and heel, pound the pavement. Sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child, rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, wherever the relevant name of each path, simple highest form, spirituality's how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums. Establish Big Ma's house so she may restore him. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, create creates the spark. Waves the heart as I sun ray. My art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Waves the heart as I sun ray. My art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The legs host, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips of their cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdo sprung shows the land's contaminated. Fruits and vegetables, like minerals, the water and skies are fried. New with chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop perusing these beats and whatnot for my best option contemplate. Which bar will next spot to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox? Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, but she's the best part. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates this spark. Waves the heart as I sun ray. My art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Waves the heart as I sun ray. My art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and bass drops.
It's funny how stink bugs is a chemical. When one, it don't matter how far they apart. When they kick it up,
in my music,
they all
kick
kick
up. A lot
up.
of this music, it's only talking about to suppress rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against.
He
the
kicked his
oppressor.
ass up.
That's all.
He
That's
still
what my
got
music's
his up.
about.
He
The
kicked his
oppressed
ass
rising
up.
up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the
He
oppressors.
kicked his ass up.
The only
They
people
kick their
who could
butts
have
up,
any
man.
harm
It's like
coming to them
the
are
chemical in the
those
air.
who
It don't really, it stink, but it don't stink.
Simple as that.
3 pound pressure.
And they hold it.
Drop the oppressor. Me no
It's unison.
3 pound pressure. No weight blesser. Drop the oppressor. Me
That's pretty wild, man.
3 pound pressure.
You got stink bugs, right? And you see a few of them, get one to spray and watch the other ones. It don't matter if they 10, 20 feet, 15, 25 feet. That's crazy. Oh, man. Stink beetle.
You wrapped in a coca flame by God, it's overdoing your time is in the end.
He holding it too.
Without sin, he put me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. The oppressor's attached to the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger prophet like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable who sits at the pinnacle.
That's crazy.
Critical, cynical, and the pitiful sinful. My thinking is critical.
Magnificent.
I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Or kneels too late when the caps get filled. Don't believe the GC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone. Put a gas
1, 2, 3, 4. They all got their butts up. And I was that one right there. I was making go back.
Given the right, so you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way
He
to
was
the
walking
dawn
over
tonight.
there. He, whatever went up, big, big. And then the one over here, got his butt, got a bird, I guess eating bird feed.
Me no surrender. 3 pound pressure. No weight blesser. Drop the oppressor. Me no surrender. 3 pound pressure. No weight blesser. Drop the oppressor.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
3 pound pressure. No weight blesser. Drop the oppressor. Me no surrender.
This world is such a.
That is so
and when I say
crazy.
This world, I mean,
Still got
I
his
mean
ass
an ideal sense. I
All
mean
4 of them.
every day, every little thing. It's such a gimme.
That's working in
Everybody
unison.
back off. You know, everybody's like,
Wow.
everywhere, big business. You want to be successful.
Let me see if this
you
one
wanna
had a
be
chemical
strong,
release.
Gimme. Push.
That is
Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stops.
That is pretty freaking cool, man. That is awesome. Yeah, look at the ass. This chemical thing. Oh, the mold came out too, huh? Look at you. bother me, but it's just, wow, that is crazy. There's another one over here. Man, that's crazy. That's the coolest thing. Hey, what's going on? Dad, what's cracking? What's going on, beloved? What's happening? Hey, Marcus, what's up? I was gonna let some more. I was gonna play some more music. I was gonna let some more people come in. You see the topic, and you know I had to talk about it. I spoke on a little bit on it before, but you know, there's some things I don't say, and then there's some things I should say. You know what I mean? People, I've expressed that I don't utilize the term magic. I'm not dismissing it in its formation, whatever, but there's a reality, and then there's a reality, and it's whatever you create. Then there's circumstances that are based on that reality and what comes from it, what's happened, what people don't see, what people have no notion or idea about. There's an appetite, like when you look at Hollywood and music and all that, and you see the sacrifices, right? There's something so deep, and I attempted to bring it together, you know, without giving everything. That people should look at it for what it is and research it. You know, they got everybody believing that Pompeii died, they passed away because of the volcano. All right, they got people believing it's funny, under France, the Vatican, England, all these places, Greece, all those bones stack up as some fake civilization based on a narrative of, no, those are the bones. And because, you know, the bones of the Tartarians stacked up like energy. Whether you accept it or not, I don't care. Now, you know, somebody's going to come along and they're going to start putting one and one together, and they're going to, you know, light-skinned guys going to go, oh, look at what we figured out, you know. Or one of these Negroes who like to put their name all over every stuff that was shared out, you know, 10 years ago. Stuff that's based on 1960 or 70, you know. Who was that police actor? What was the name of his name? What was his name? I mean, what was the name of that show? He was like a private eye, but he was goofy, you know, Jewish guy. He walked around and he carried himself a certain way. Remember, he was in there dealing with this other actor. I forget his name. He's long dead, both of them. Long deceased, excuse me. And he was talking about, this is the semblance of America, the picture and the portrait. And he goes over and he looks at the picture, and it's us. When you look at the other movies, the gangster movie, when you have the old so-called Italian mafia guy, right? He's sitting there and they're talking about the niggas, and you know, the guy says, Indian niggas, same thing. Like, we have more information. I don't want to get stuck in, it's about war though, but I don't want to get stuck into this connotation of who you are, because there's more information in the world, all around the world, all right, than there will ever be in 1,000, 1,000,000 years in this fake education system that is being dismantled, about who you are. And nobody can say otherwise, except for in ignorance and heartache and pain and everything else, which is steep in the truth of what war has brought. I'm going to read a few things. It's indicative for you to pay attention, because I like I said, I'm tired of this who and what you are thing, you know, because y'all don't see what war does in the spell. Bohemian Groves, whether it be from Italy, New York to, you know what I'm saying, over in California, the sacrifice, or what you call the you know, all the stuff they do, the Moloch, all these things. You got to remember, they were grafted in and they were given this stuff to do, and they don't know what they're doing. You can condition anybody and make them walk in a certain way, and we already covered that, you know, with the island children, black, red and black, you know, the Truman Show, whatever, the stuff I spoke about yesterday and prior. But nobody wants to really study war. You know, they have war college and all that kind of stuff, but nobody really, this is why I have a hard time dealing with individuals as if they're intelligent or intellectual. Well, people are intellectual and they're intelligent, but on the basis of history, If they're so intellectually intelligent, right? Then why can't they put it together? It's like they got to be given it in order to see it, to make it feasible. What kind of creature is that? Well, you got to be shown and given. It's got to be tangible in front of your face when all the stuff is right there, right there, and they just can't put it together. You can have guys doing selection for ODA, right? Special Forces or whatever, Ranger, 75th Ranger, whatever regiment, whatever. And they can get together and have wills, and they can have poles, and they have a whole team, right? A platoon, and they can run down however it is, right? And they got to get that thing and all that ammo boxes of certain weight and equipment and a wounded soldier. They got to move that stuff within a certain amount of time, and they got to come up with all kind of ways using straps and all that other and you know the rope and everything like that to make something that a roll. They push and exert themselves. It's a mental thing, but and move that thing. And they can come up with something viable. Yet when you talk about the world, they can't even come up because they have too many lies and they've created false history. Nobody can see past that because even in their travels, they can't see it because all they do is in the war mind. You know what I mean? Not in the rationale of putting things together as men should to see things as they are. Because the majority of men aren't rational. And the majority of women aren't the supreme leaders as they should be. So you have a bunch of irrational women and a bunch of dumbass men. I don't care if they're CEOs or part of the fake elite who play in the game of the field of y'all's division of deception. If they want to call themselves custodians, it matters not to me. Yet to you, you should really be looking at it. Obviously, we have a good idea why the wars exist. I mean, think about Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam. And that was the two, not to mention Africa and a few other places, Haiti, who didn't want nothing to do with the Rothschild banking, and you see what came from that. Whether they be melanated, straight hair or not. It's like asking a light-skinned person or somebody of Melungeon history, what makes a Melungeon? These idiots today will say an African American, a Native American, and some pale skin. They don't even know history, just what's been given to them. Even passed down by the incubator babies who are part of the bloodline to create a new race. A lot of them look Arab. Have y'all met any Melungeons? People don't want to see things and put the pieces together. It's the reason why I say puzzle pieces, because it keeps me in a quiet place. Otherwise, I'd be yelling everything out based on real knowledge of what I have, whether from Edinburgh, Scotland, from the oldest Masonic individuals in the 80s, to family members and things I just choose not to tell you because I know the first thing ignorant mother suckers do is they run, they put the name and pictures all over it and videos, and it goes as if they found it. Like, don't take it. I don't want you to download it. This is the hypocrisy and the stupidity that we deal with today. Free information that belongs to everyone. And this is how you are befell by dumb. See, they don't mind me saying black, which is something that used to get people in trouble. It's just like this. You know, there was a 27-year-old woman in New York who spit on a little Jewish child, right? Oh, they couldn't wait to lock her up. But what about those Jews that are spitting at the feet of the Coptic Christians? Or the 14-year-old Jew who spit on the 7-year-old Ethiopian kid, right? Well, they found him and beat him up. He will never spit on another Ethiopian. But you look at all these little dark Arab, whatever, all these hybrid Jews looking at this Israeli woman who married a so-called black person, and they saying, oh, the nigger, you know, what do you think that comes from? These people you want to call rabbis, rabbinical to what? Well, first of all, you have Kiramia did an excellent thing on a few other people, right? You know what crypto and Sephardic is? Let me read it to you, because some people are having a hard time grasping this whole thing. And people say, what authority I have? Well, I have a little bit of that Jew in me, okay? And 2 Jewish uncles. Yeah, they darker than me, and yeah, well, It's just what it is, you know. And it's not just, that's not my German side. That's not the Kaiser Klein and Schaus. That's just whatever happened, marriages or whatever. Okay, and they live in Red Hook, Brooklyn. They hate Zionists. They don't even like you. Call them a Jew, they probably stab you. Even as old as they are right now, Vietnam, Korean War vets, they'd probably stab you. Seriously. So I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm not going to Yandex. I pulled it up. Y'all can research, whether it be Brave, Yandex, Firefox, whatever searches. There's other ones out there too. If y'all been researching, you know this. Some of them you're not gonna find on Google. All right, you actually gotta come across somebody says, "Yeah, check this website out." You know. But Sephardic Jews are descendants of Jewish communities from the Iberian Peninsula. Do y'all know about the Iberian Peninsula? Spain and Portugal. I want y'all to remember that Spain and Portugal narrative. While crypto Jews are individuals or communities who secretly maintain Jewish practices while outwardly adhering to another religion, often Catholicism, for survival during periods of persecution. So they still, you know what I mean? Sephardic Jews are a distinct Jewish group with their own customs and traditions, whereas crypto Jews were a phenomenon arising from specific historical circumstances. King Bulan, hiding. Other ones be a consortium to create their own dialect, dealing in magic. Hollywood, Talmud, this, that, and other on the other side. So let's take a look at a little more breakdown in case the people are still confused. Sephardic Jews' origin, the descendants of Jews who lived in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal, all right, and generally openly practiced Judaism. Now, is Judaism, let me pull it up. I want to make sure before I read further. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, let me go back. Openly practice Judaism. Not, you got to remember, Judaism is not Zionism. Now, they would confuse you and have you thinking that they practice Talmudic and all that other stuff. It's not, no. Now, as far as the cultural identity, keep your butt away from me. They have a distinct tradition. They have distinct traditions, custom, and languages. E.g., a Ladino, often influenced by the culture they lived in. So wherever they live, it's influenced by that. You know. Look at the ones from here. They're all part of the rap. If they're not wearing all the black stuff, being Hasidic and this little strings, the ropes. I'm not going to call it what it is. It's all crap, right? Every once in a while when they worship and put the little black band around their arm, that's Talmudic. When they put the little black thing with the black box, just know it is, okay? And it's influenced by us. Like, look at what they're doing with the chicken, right? And then they slaughter it and do whatever they do, right? To say for the bad, you know, forgiveness, they're using the chicken. That's voodoo. And yes, there are people saying voodoo is in Africa. Why is it that people don't study that voodoo came from here? Haiti and Florida, Louisiana. Voodoo is not origin of friggin' Africa. Our people brought it there when they built and created Liberia, fighting them. They knew nothing about it. Same thing with all the other peninsulas going up on the Ivory Coast, whether from the south or not. Most of them are ignorant to this, okay? And not knowing these things creates war. But listen on. Let's look at let's have a couple of examples. These are not enough, but yeah. Many Sephardic Jews immigrated to various parts of the world after being expelled from Spain and Portugal. You should know why. Establishing communities in North Africa, the Middle East, and the Americas. Okay? Now, crypto Jew, let's have a look at this. Descendants of Jews who were forced to convert to Catholicism during the Spanish Inquisition or other periods of persecution, but secretly continued to practice Judaism. Isn't that funny? How did the so-called Moors or the original melanated people of Moors, melanated people in Spain fall off, just like Portugal, and then subjugate the people in Brazil, South America? I'm only asking. Florida. How did it work between Spain and Florida and France and Louisiana and Texas, which wasn't even, because the Mexicans still think they had Texas and all that. They didn't own none of that because you had Negro Mountain, Negro Belt, Negro Trail, Negro this. Those things existed long before Zapata and all those. And he was a Negro too, but long before that. All right. I'm just pointing things out. You got to remember, wars come from ignorance. All right. And the public identity of things outwardly presented as Catholic or any religion to avoid persecution. Okay, and that's how they graft people in too. You know what I'm saying? They get their little secret societies. They do things that people see it and they go, listen, and then they bring them in and it grows. And they have these little offshoots, right? These little offshoots. You know what I mean? Shriners, this, that, all these different things. And you see that today with NASA, and you got to remember the Mossad, CIA, they answer to NASA just like all the head leaders, all right? Secret practice, secretly maintain Jewish traditions, customs, and beliefs. Now, some crypto Jews in New Mexico and Mexico maintain Jewish practices, often in secret for generations, where a lot of racism comes from. Now, why am I saying this? Well, hold on, let me go pull it up. Can't see the sun's getting in my face, guys. So, as you know, Pope Francis passed away, right? And they all wear a yarmulke on their head. So they say Pope Francis' ethnicity was his parents had fled their native Italy to escape the evils of fascism. So yes, George Mario Borgiolo was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina on 17 December 1936, the eldest of 5 children. George Mario Borgiolo, whatever the name is, right? What y'all seem to forget, while there are some historical connections between Ashkenazi Jews and Italians, and some Italian Jews identify as neither Ashkenazi nor Sephardi, it's not accurate to say that a large number, yet the majority of a New Age Italians are Ashkenazi Jews, whether it be from Spain. See, people have a hard time seeing what's going on here. Why would any... I heard them singing Lucifer in the 80s, so you can say what you want, and I thought they were singing to me. But they were singing to their hodgepodge, made up, mismanaged words and letters and everything else. That's what they do. Fake people of letters. Fake men of letters. Okay? They are all the undoing of who any of you think you are. And it's pragmatic to a system of chaos and destruction. A lot of people are just starting to realize, holy smack, Ukraine, those are fucking Ashkenaz. Duh. Just like Poland. The big joke was they were dumb and backwards when I was in the 80s and, in high school and 70s, middle school and high school. Everybody was a big joke. Oh, he's Polish. Oh, he's a Pole. Yeah, that comes from comedians and a whole lot of other stuff based on war. And people don't look at the fact of what Hitler was doing. He was eradicating the world of this disease. And it is. It doesn't matter what you say. Look at what's going on. Isn't it funny how in New York they locked that 27-year-old woman up for spitting on that little kid? All right. But did they lock anybody else up? Why is it that people having a hard time seeing? First of all, I told you, most police are sheep. There's no morals. They don't know how to think. The ones that do, you see them, usually they get rid of them. Or they get out of there. And there's thousands of them who have pulled away because they couldn't stand the hypocrisy, the stupidity, and you know, someone want to stay part of the family, but it's what kind of family is that? And they were all trained at one time in Palestine. Y'all say Israel, that ain't fucking Israel. Palestine. I'm so tired of people saying in Israel. Y'all just sound so stupid. Anyway, not to get on that wagon. Well, of course they do. That shows you how easy it is to indoctrinate people based from 1933 or 47 or 8 all the way to now. That ain't a long time. Some would say that's a long time. It is not. For those who are caught up in this compassionate relationship with a fake time. Now y'all see why I did the thing with the years yesterday. Hopefully y'all put together. Go on about your business. All right? Calling all on stuff. Ain't no food, no water there. Anyway. I am starting to actually believe. You see when he passed away, all those bells were ringing? Do you think those bells were tuned at the right frequency to stave off or free something? Maybe they were put at a certain thing to keep him where he doesn't get stuck. Because you see how they put him in state. That means they put him in state. Like they put the fake Lincoln in state. They want you to have a perception of something different. I kept telling people that's not Abe Lincoln. Even some of his relatives didn't want to see that. Are y'all aware of that? Huh? You heard the story. They got a story of his father that describes him and what his father looks like. They didn't even want to put that picture out there. How about his best friend when Lincoln rode by him on a horse? And he says, oh, it was this tall, dark figure come approaching me. He didn't know who it was. And he says, I thought it was another Negro. And it was Lincoln. I asked y'all to watch Holiday Inn by Bing Crosby in 1942. Did any of y'all take the time to know what blackface were? The Boston Tea Party, which was something else other than throwing tea because they wanted to tax us, but they couldn't because we were wild, free, and savage. So the enemy, the Jews, the Zionists, Christians at that time, painted themselves black to emulate something that we would never do. We will not be taxed and to create a war between our people and a foreign occupying force that we already been fighting. To further keep it going and forget the treaties made with our people. Look, why are Ukraine and Russia fighting? Now, Russia ain't all that good either, because what people tend to forget is they were quick to go and fight Germany as well. Now, if they expel the Bolsheviks, going to kill Nicholas Tsar V, right, which they accomplished, and the ones before that, right, Anastasia, if that's the case, fall of Tartary, why did Russia go and fight Germany alongside the axis of evil? I mean, America, UK, and France. Takes you back to World War I, Crimea War before that, and the sack of Ethiopia. Where most Hindus are Ethiopians, Atrians, Pakistanis. How come y'all don't know this as y'all watch the history of the world being rewrote? And you got a bunch of Native Americans not knowing that some of us had relatives who taught them how to be us. When you go back in history books, you never saw no TP and no yurt until 1870 something. And that was something big for the Mongols, Gog or Magog, or whatever you want to call it, Og, because you could see it in their tents they set up as they prolificated in war against our people on this land. You never saw them with a wigwam. No, you saw them setting up tents. A standard that the military used for a period of time, the Army at least. Why is it so hard to concede and see things for what they are and start withdrawing yourself from it? Why hold yourself there as if it's going to work out? Yeah, I know. They control the platform. Right? This is nothing to make anybody hate. See, listen. A coward dies. Let me read it. I have a different one. I have a different one. Hold on. I mean, y'all know a coward dies 1,000 deaths, right? All right. A hero dies one. They get to move on. Police are not heroes. The acts amongst themselves being taught to do the most dumb things allows them to stay within a lie and incorporate themselves. So therefore, they're not really among the living, but among the dead. Just like those who persecute with no reason or no rationale and call themselves judges, Levitical, using that narrative. They're truly not of a righteous order. Yet, you see that that is another form of war. Remember the NFA was created out of racism? And it still moves that way. But now because it's an agency based off of Zionism and ideology behind it, it wants to go after everybody because it wants to subjugate. Because when people start dropping dead, they don't want nobody to fire a shot back. I mean, they're staging weapons and equipment all over the place. Y'all know nothing about. I'm just pointing this out. And a lot of y'all don't know what it takes to actually fight a war. A lot of you are just so comfortable. A lot of y'all think that all by yourself, you're just going to handle it. I'm not saying even together you can handle it. I'm just pointing out facts. You have been misled by so many individuals. You got to remember, Jesse Jackson was sued for creating that term African American, which is owned by a damn Zionist. All right, look it up. I still have the original post created by News. What was that? Newsmax? Not Newsmax. Real News. What was it? News something out of New York. Anyway, I still have the original post. And you would think the people in New York would be like, wait a minute, everybody, I don't belong to the food corporation and no, I'm not on. But this is what you get for the ignorance. It's war against you. The worst thing anyone can do, and they've been doing their best to stay away from it, but not the greatest. You know, the fake Jews always going to have the racist dichotomy, just like, and it doesn't matter where, because they're everywhere. Mix a new race of individuals, right? They're not who they were. Their bloodline is contrite to Negroid, and then the Ashkenaz, and they had to mix everybody up. A little Hamitic. The Negro is not African nor black, but you know, this is their system of education, lies, subversion, and everything else. And people are too ignorant because they don't know how to put the puzzle pieces together. They refuse to, because it becomes uncomfortable, as if the good blood is the bad blood and the bad blood is the good blood. Is that not backwards and reverse? And then you have those who claim to be Negro, and they move in these fictional other identities hidden to the public. And it's like almost impossible for them to have regard and change the narrative. No, some have, and usually you don't hear from them because they'll hide that, they'll remove that. TikTok just banned another account. I haven't said nothing, argued with nobody or nothing, because they have a bunch of young, dumb Jews out of California, Lemonade, right, who are too stupid to do anything right. They think they think like they can continue to do like Palestine soon. No, every one of them will be hunted down. There's no way for them. They can't go underground or anything. A lot of people know how to get underground. A lot of people. If they put little soldiers, expect that they'll make it through there, blow shit up. It don't matter. I hear things, I know things. That's the bottom line. I don't know how things are laid out, but I know that you have people who are willing sacrifices, as crazy as that sounds. It's so mindless. It's contemptuous. You know what I mean? I don't like talking about things like this because to me it's mindless gibberish to me. Yet, y'all, if y'all pay attention to the videos I did before, and y'all can share this with people. You have the focus. You see exactly what I've been doing, how I've been walking you. Right? Have I not? It's always for balance. It's not for you to be reactionary and go all in your feelings and emotions and do stupid things. I'm always talking about ascension. I think people have forgotten that. You know? But I carefully put things together. Sometimes when I arise in the AM, or this day, because there's no tomorrow, it doesn't exist, I see things. Sometimes I'm very angered by what I see, and so I have to get it out, and it comes out in weird ways. But individuals don't like anything that goes against their warlike mentality. Our people are not warlike. They do some dumb shit. Oh my goodness. But you got to remember there's some people that look like us that necessarily aren't us. That was done on purpose as well. You know, they used to say we were unwelcome. This is the damn Zionists, the fake Jews here, the Talmudics. I went around seas and I was embraced. I was respected, and I showed that same respect everywhere I went. It didn't matter, Germany, France. You have some of the idiots, because you know how these little monkeys in World War II, the little idiots here who didn't know what they were doing, what enemy they were fighting, how stupid they were when they were performing like the enemy. Going over there, talking about be careful of the niggers. They got to grow tails at night. We didn't grow the tails, they did. But anyway, except for those other Iberians, you know what I'm saying. And that created something that never existed. I have some Russians who are very grateful of me talking about the Abkhazarians. Then I have the goofballs, who were probably Zionists in Russia, working to, from the inside out, smiling in Putin's face while destroying it and keeping up with all the other stupidity, who have the same formulation of these goofy-ass Ashkenazis, these dumb ones. Well, not all of them are bad. So you got to remember what we're talking about. Did they design war? They prolificate in it. They fund both sides, and they sit back and rewards. But do you think they were smart enough to do that? No. Who would have something to gain out of destroying Tartary, subjugating people and having a couple of centuries to convince and change people's mindsets to make them want to be at each other's throats? Who would do that? Who would take youth, and always out of California and New York, certain places, and have them believe that they have an important task, a job, and then put them to the task to have the long stay and stuff like that, not really realizing that there are still other things out here in this world. I can't stand that word. Right? That mitigate other factors. What's going on? Oh, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? I'm gonna get off of here because I want to eat and wash my behind, all that good stuff. Another day or two of relaxing and stuff before, like I said, the more y'all donate, the more supply I'll get. You know what I'm saying? And we can get up there, but there's not enough to get. I mean, I can go and get another R19, which would probably be enough for the deck, and maybe SBS, but I got to get a lot more screws. I got to get some more 2x4s. We have plenty, but a certain height, a little more straight. I have to get some brackets and a few other things, and it costs, I went yesterday and got like $270 worth of food, I mean, I keep, book didn't come. It says 7 o'clock at night. Obviously, they're not going to drive here at 7 at night, so hopefully the book comes today and I can share it with you guys. And My luck is one of these goofy ass monkeys went ahead and did something to the package. You know how they stupid. I'm not against them, but they're too stupid to know better, especially when you're giving directives and all that. We are in a time of an enemy who are their own enemy, and they deal in self-defeatism. I am imploring y'all not to be part of that. Anyone didn't take the damn fake ass bank cartel of the Rothschilds and those idiots. They got the dumbest of their lineage and used military operators within certain organizations to go out there with psyops and to get rid of them. You would think the individuals behind it would know better, but it's never the case. They're just as dumb as they get. But you get where I'm coming from. America isn't great. Not at all. How can a country be great with a bunch of dumb fucking races? A bunch of goofy ass agents of a Ashkenazi consort, a derivative of religion dispelling it because of their acceptance to think that everything's going to work out in the end and do the most deplorable things. If that ain't some of the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Why is it that people can't convey this? Because you got a bunch of goofy niggas that love going up in people's booties that belong to certain frats, dancing around with gold boots, kicking with their pants off and no drawers, and out there in Black's Beach and certain nude places and going to, you know, Turkish bathhouses to do the freaky things, and they can't let go of that. So therefore, they got to keep up a fake image, you know, the DLs and all them, and move around in a way that it shows that it's not just the perversion of sex, because in the perversion of sex comes the perversion of existence and everything else. Like in Dubai, all those very rich million billionaires, right? They've done everything, so now they like to poop on beautiful women. And these women are really all that beautiful. They got synthetic in their hair, they got boob jobs and all that kind of stuff just to get 100, 6 figures or whatever, thousands or whatever, right? No, they come from all over. They don't just come from America. Not these dumb idiots in Cali and all, New York and all that. They come from all over in Texas. No, they come from Africa. They come from UK, UBMAs. How do people function as if that's okay? Can't make it up, kid. It's crazy. I'm not bad-mouthing this stuff. This stuff is known. This is just the way it is. Just because somebody says you're not going to say that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to say it. There's certain individuals you can do that with, but not everybody. These people are crazy. It's stupid. But you get what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. It's frozen. I'm trying to get where to spin without going crazy. Let me see what I'm doing now. I'm about to have some of that lamb for breakfast, y'all. Break my fan. It's like an ice ball on it. It just don't want to. I know it's gonna be good though. Yeah, it's like a little frozen ball. Goody goody. But anyway, the world's a racket. But it's comprised of many different things in order to achieve it. People's racism, ignorance, steeped in what they've been educated, the lies blatantly. People are seeing that now. From Desert Storm to the last 20-year war, you've got people going into these councils with these paid, these ADL, APAC paid monkeys, all right? And these town halls and everything, civic, or, you know, and they're calling out. And then they got the goofies walking with badges as if everything was just fine for them, who belong to certain organists who will remove these individuals as if they don't have the right to say what they're saying. This is not just tyrannical. This shows you that nobody, and that's why I don't respect the goofy racist group, because they're being led by Jews. Well, not the ones who are religious, the good you know what I'm saying, God-fearing ones. These are the bastards, the Talmudics, the ones that hate the very individuals they work with. They're there, hiding with fake identities, change their names all the time. And then our people will get further and further in the deplorable state. Many are waking up. But how do you move forward? Now you see a lot of police departments got a bunch of dumbass, racist, goofy-ass Spaniards on it. Like, come on, brothers. What's going on with y'all? What the how are y'all that damn stupid? Or is that part of the dynamic? Because it's not the majority. It's a small number. Y'all notice the ones you got police officers from France, Hindustan, Africa, in Texas, New York, and China. We're not talking about the good guys. We're running around and they hate you. What kind of police order is that? Who's creating that? How has that come to be? How come nobody's speaking on it? I'm just asking, how? I mean, we know we read the thing where they're allowing certain individuals, blah, 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 right? But why is it nobody else can see what's really going on? Well, dumb Negroes like Big U and all those goofies, and there's plethora more of them still out here in Texas and everywhere else, ain't done shit to bring the youth together, the so-called goofy-ass gangs and all the dummies incorporated, Louisiana, Tennessee, and all around. Just a bunch of dumbasses. Misled by these old dumb niggas. And some of y'all had a hard time because you didn't like Charleston White. Charleston White know exactly what he's doing. He's tapping into you motherfuckers, showing the punctivity in a lot of individuals. I've seen some of y'all talk, yo, Charleston White, and I look at you like you a fucking retard. I'm like, this Goomba don't even know, why you feel that way? You're not even a gang member. You're supposed to be a Fed or whatever. Get the fuck, you know what I'm saying? You even got in Texas, where you from, you got dumb niggas in the police force that can't even stand Charleston White because they can't see what he's doing because they're so corrupt. They're too goddamn stupid to see what's right. Because they don't know what right is no more. When you're allowed to lie, you know what comes from that? Do you know what comes from when you allow yourself to lie? Do you know how that affects you? Based on the narrative of what a lie is? To think, and then they say, well, you know, in order to get to the next, that has nothing to do with law. That has nothing to do with the Supreme Court of the land, the Supreme Law of the land. That has absolutely nothing but some influence from Zionist, Talmudic, fake Masonic, goofy Shriner, worthless motherfucker within the organizations who are going out there. Them guys are worse than any of you talk. Porn. Those are, look, a lot of people in the costume are pure alcoholics, abusers of women, and vice versa. Drug users too, steroids. What law is that? What authority is that? I'm not dragging them, I'm stating facts. It got so bad where they started marrying each other. So-called Americans and been in the military. I'm Delta. Like no PTSD exists, this, that, or murderous contempt. What is DOJ? They say Department of Justice. Department? That means incorporated? Incorporated? What's that got to do with the Constitution and the laws of the land that are based on natural order? And other than creating, dropping guns off, going into the witch guard room and getting drugs and putting it back on the street for fiat just to keep running because the government don't really parlay in paying so they can have new vehicles, this, that, and other, go out there and do more corrupt things. This small little neighborhood, Arkansas, and places like that, where the cops are so goddamn corrupt that they fleece the people. What's made them so docile? That's why they have fluoride and all other chemicals and endocrine and all your testosterone and everything fucked up where it don't reach its potential. You think they don't know what they're doing, huh? No, I don't care about what they're doing. I think it's great because it's wow. I say wow because I appreciate good fucking work, bro. Hey, look, don't get offended. Now, it's not safety network. I really, really do appreciate motherfuckers. They on their shit. They on their ding, man. They know what they're doing. You motherfuckers, on the other hand, you got all the vessels and tools, and y'all can't get together because you got a bunch of goombas, and goofies, and dummies. Where's the balance? That's the only reason why I keep doing what I'm doing, because I don't see the balance. And they know they can't do a vaudeville act and a show and all that shit doesn't work for me. I see a bunch of pussies using every means to kill y'all. I mean, excuse me. Well, damn it, they've been saying it. And y'all fall for it. You got dumb melanated people who don't know that they're the original Republicans. You got other people who they ain't got nothing to do with half the wars that came here. All right? That they come from those from incubators, picked out of the consortium was considered cabbages. But when you grow cabbage, right? You look for the good ones. You pluck them, right? Based on the narrative of how they've been manipulated. You know, the gloves into the gene splicing, remove that chromosome. We want to make sure that they're obedient. You know what I mean? And they think they're just great fucking people, and they're the worst, the most lowest of any existence. That's magic. Anyway, war is a racket. It's like a bank. You could put it in there, and then they tell you when they don't want you to take it out because they're going to shut it down and keep everything while you're running around. Fighting each other, stealing, killing. All the things that your ancestors didn't have, now you have no inhibition, so you act upon it as if it's going to benefit you. Because you see contextually what's been laid out. You know, you got dumbass 50 Cent with the movie The Wire and all that other stuff, and people think that's great shit. You know, straight out of Compton. You know, all the foolish shit. Look at New York with all those thug movies they made. These goofy fucktards. And then y'all think they're great people. You can't wait to see them on the red carpet and all this other dumb shit. School days, one of the dumbest things is to try and get a message across while inundating you with an out of Africa, blackity, blackity, black, and all the dumb shit by a little lizard and a gecko of a man. Y'all call Spike Lee. A little fucking gecko. A little fucking lizard. To me, he's a cockroach, but regardless of that. Anywho, y'all like war so much. Why don't y'all go join the military? Why don't y'all all go and fight for Ukraine or whatever the fuck? Y'all scared. Because you ain't fighting for your land. You ain't standing up together in unison, fighting for your children and your great children, grandchildren. You know, in these wars, you know how many animals and stuff die? All the insects that matter to the earth. Sea life. Flying through the skies. What kind of beast would want to explode hundreds of thousands of TNT in the air? Who would put them to that task? Then to make you believe in other things, but tell you radiation, this, that, and the other. I'm only asking if y'all got some answers, give them up or what you think, in your opinion. Gotta remember, I'm not saying all this is facts. I didn't say facts at the end of all this. I'm saying, in my opinion, based on certain things and studies and puzzle pieces coming together, not all the ends are there and not all the parts in the middle. Baby girl Slaughter, hey mama. Yeah, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. It's about an hour. Hopefully that book comes today. I'm gonna put the tracking number in to see where it's at. I'm gonna go ahead and eat something, get myself together, go down here and put some soap and water between, you know what I'm saying, clean off my cherries. No, I'm clean anyway. But anyway, nice cold shower, be reinvigorated. Get my stuff together to fry some chicken wings and make some home fries. I got to get them soaking in some vinegar. You know? We gotta empty this out, heat that up before I cook that, or I'll just cook it tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me. But anyway, I appreciate y'all listening to old fogey like me. And there's no slander here. And if it is, so the fuck what? But there's no slander. I don't want y'all running around. Don't go getting armed up. Yeah, a lot of y'all ain't got no guns. You don't know how to buy ammo anyway. They monitor and all that, because that's the last thing they want is anybody to fight back or come together. That's why I always say that I respect the 2A and the ancestors and what was created. But you think the enemy gives a fuck? It's funny how I showed y'all we created the original machine gun, and you'd be surprised at the stuff our ancestors invented and created. They whitewashed the narrative. But regardless of that, we created a drone. I proved that. I had some ex-military motherfucker come out. Where you saw? I was like, oh, here we go with the retarded motherfuckers again. Look, you accomplished something. You made it into the da-da-da. You did. You don't know shit still. Like, stop. That's why I was talking about fighting. There are those who grew up just fighting, and we're pretty goddamn good at it. All right? And then there are those who train trigger pullers. You know to stick you in a certain vertebrae or whatever. Well, a lot of them commit suicide just as well. My apologies. I didn't mean for it to touch them that way. I didn't know it would increase. Maybe they all became police officers. So I don't know. I didn't take that away. It can't be removed. It can't. So you want to go put on the costume and they don't want you to see this video? You know what I mean? If you start doing wild things, and I don't give a damn what age you see, who you think you are, whatever. It catches up. And if they know exactly what I'm talking about. They have an idea of what I did. It's not a game. Y'all think it's a game. And they think they're ahead of the game. Not. Well, I appreciate y'all. See you later. Okay. Hungry.